Sony announced the development of a new subsidiary to bring cutting-edge technology to the fast-growing space sector. Registered a few days ago, Sony Space Communications Corp will develop and supply devices that allow satellites in orbit to communicate using lasers. Laser communication technology will avoid the drawbacks inherent in free-frequency deficient radio communication systems. Sony's modules will provide data transmission between satellites and communication between satellites and ground stations. The timing of the start of the commercial operation of the technology and the cost of the project will be announced later. Now there are about 12,000 satellites in orbit around the Earth, and their number in the coming years will rapidly increase as the development of aerospace companies will reduce the cost of launching objects into space. It is also known that companies like SpaceX are already deploying extensive satellite constellations to provide access to the internet from anywhere in the world. According to Sony, the amount of data circulating in orbit is also increasing annually. At the same time, the ranges of available radio frequencies are limited. SpaceX already produces its modules for laser satellite communication. Johnny Depp, who won his lawsuit against Amber Heard this week, continues to celebrate his triumph and receive congratulations from fans. But now, just a few days after the announcement of the court verdict, there are serious doubts about whether he was too happy too soon. It is possible that he would not receive the money he had been awarded. And the result of the trial may be reconsidered. Even when it was first announced, according to the court order, Amber would have to transfer to Johnny's account multi-million-dollar compensation. Some suspected that this might not happen. But the final clarity on this issue was made by Heard's lawyer Elanie Bredehoft, who said about the prospects of payment. As Bredehoft explained, Amber simply does not have that amount of money. After all, we are talking about a very solid compensation. At first, Johnny was awarded $15 million. However, in the final version the payment is cut to $10 million. Since this is the laws of the state of Virginia, where the trial took place, the limit of the amount that can be obtained as compensation for any damages. In addition, $2 million Heard managed to fend off, because she won a counterclaim against her lawyer Johnny, Camille Vasquez, who allowed herself to slander her. However, as explained by Bredehoft, in addition to this, Heard will have to pay legal fees Depp, amounting to $6 million. That is, in the end, she has to pay $14 million. In this case, her entire estate, including the value of real estate owned by the actress, is estimated at $12 million. In other words, even with all the desire, she couldn't find the amount of money Depp needed. As it was noted by well-known financial expert Emily Baker, to obtain a court order to pay and actually get the money is not the same. If Heard pleads insolvency, Depp would have to bring another lawsuit to demand at least an incremental payment, making deductions from her future royalties. But there is another circumstance questioning Depp's triumph. As Heard's lawyer has announced, Amber intends to appeal the court's decision. And, as Bredehoft believes, Heard has a real chance to win an appeal. After all, according to the lawyer, during the trial, Amber's side was not able to present all of their evidence and testimony. For the first time the relevant technology began to be used in Starlink satellites at the end of last year. The original developments are also available in China. Sony is not a complete novice in the industry. For the first time, the company conducted successful tests of laser communication in space in 2020, transmitting high-resolution images along the beam to the ground communication station in Japan from the ISS. Sony is actively increasing its capacity. Sony and Honda have agreed to create a joint venture to develop, produce and sell electric cars in 2022. According to the terms of the agreement, Honda will produce electric cars, while Sony will provide these electric cars with software. The first joint electric car will go on sale in 2025. And that's not counting game consoles. Despite the global shortage of parts and components, Sony announced that it has sold 20 million units of the PlayStation 5 console worldwide since its launch in November 2020. Sony's latest production and performance reports show that demand for the console is still very high, suggesting the need to increase supply and maximize production of the PS5.